Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the Q&A of Stoke Chasers. I hope everyone has enjoyed the film, and please remember that the film is available for an audience award. So don't forget to rate all the films and watch when you're done. I want to start off by thanking the sponsors of this film, Surfing for Hope Foundation and Films for Good through Bob and Christine Williams. We're so excited to have director Joe Anna Edmison and producer Haley Nenadal. Thank you for joining us. And I would like to know where you guys are actually Skyping us from.
San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, we're both in SLO.
Both from the local area. All right. I'm also here, so I got to really relate to your film. The film really connects to breaking stereotypes, but I noticed that you guys also are breaking kind of the new aged camera film standards. You guys are using older cameras, I believe. Could you kind of expand on what type of instruments you're using?
Yeah, for sure. So the whole film was shot on 16 millimeter film. So I used a Bolex H16 reflex camera, which is like very similar to the one that was used to shoot The Endless Summer. So I decided to use this because I not only love film and the way that it looks, as I'm sure so many other people do, but I just wanted to use this medium because I feel like not a lot of women were captured on this medium when it was popular. So I wanted to kind of explore that and, spend the time, spend the money, spend the energy shooting film because I think that this topic is so important. And I think the way that it's captured like speaks volumes for the women that are in it. And it just kind of looks like it was filmed in the past, and it's actually was filmed like all of like 2018 to 2020. So yeah.
Yeah, most of the women involved in the scene, they look to be like pretty young, in their 20s or so. And so I'm just wondering, what are their reactions to see themselves on this type of film as well? Uh, do they like share it to their mother and are like, oh, hey, look at how you would have looked on camera?
Yeah, I think like a lot of the reactions from the girls that are in it have been positive. I think a lot of the girls in it also like had no idea what it was going to look like when I was shooting. They were just like, what is this old school machine that you're using to shoot right now? And I think like when I showed them it, they were like, wait, this is not really what I thought it was going to be, but I really like it. And I think that's kind of what sets it apart, like from shooting with digital, because you can't see it. And it took like so long to get it all back and developed. So there was already that like curiosity. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's a good point you bring up about sharing it with their mothers, though. I wonder if anyone's actually kind of had that thought about sharing it with their mom and being like, this is what it would have looked like if you were, skating or surfing at this time. But that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially with these like bigger cameras than normal, did it take much longer, or how long did it take you to actually shoot this whole project?
Yeah, it took a while, mainly because I didn't really know where it was going for a long time, and I just knew that I wanted to make something about women skaters and surfers, and I just kind of would meet them and then be like, okay, like I'm gonna shoot them and kind of wait for the right moments. So it took overall about 3 years to shoot. A lot of that was also because film is really expensive, and I was like financing it myself, like with Nate from Respect the Funk. And so it kind of took us a while to like figure out how to raise the money to do it. And then eventually I met Haley and she kind of brought the whole thing together. So that's why it was like 3 years of shooting and then kind of like not even a year of editing and putting it together, which was crazy.
With like badass women videos, you guys are kind of talking about breaking the stereotypes in like skateboarding and surfing, but you guys are also breaking your own stereotypes of directing and producing. Like those are male dominated areas. How have you guys managed these kind of these environments as of late?
You know, it's so interesting when you ask that, and Joe and I are in this room together because we kind of both just, it's almost like a social contract that we just agree that we're going to make really good films and we're going to keep working together, and other people are included in the journey. And so it's kind of power in numbers a little bit, even though there's two of us, but we've got all these people that are starting to work with us. And it's as soon as you kind of say that's what the plan is, people are in. And I don't know, I was raised in a household where it was like, my brother and I were equal. And I just have had a father that has always promoted my work. And so I've been very lucky to kind of always walk into a room of filmmakers, mostly men, and not really care about it, and just doing it.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it is definitely male dominated for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like in my experience, like mainly like I manage a band, so I have like that kind of experience with the music industry especially. And I think like, you know, working as an independent filmmaker, I don't really let it get to me. And like working with like a great team of people, like it's just the best. Like it's I don't really let it get me down. Like and that's why I think like the women that I featured like in Stoke Chasers, like even though I don't skate or surf like nearly at their level, like it just is so inspiring and I resonate with them so much because it's like it's breaking any barrier, you know, it's doing anything. And a lot of times what's really cool is like when I film women like doing their thing, they're so much more comfortable with me because they're like, you know what it's like because you're even here filming, and we don't get filmed by women really. Like we're not like in women empowerment films because like, you know, the guys are always the filmers too, and it's just that's kind of the atmosphere. And so I think we're just kind of trying to change that like step by step and really like build the community and not just build one side of it.
I noticed that it kind of gives off like a little biopic kind of feel, like you're kind of speaking a little bit about them, but there aren't any like names involved at all. Is there any specific reason that you kind of omitted their like identities from the film?
Yeah, that's actually an interesting point because originally like I wanted it to be like a full part. Like I wanted every girl in the film to have like a full part and it feel like their part. But then in the end, we kind of realized that like it's not really like a part because it's like more about the whole. Like it's more about like the feeling of even just the California culture and like who's a part of it. And I think it's more of like the essence of all of these people and how like even though a lot of them didn't know each other when we started filming and are from different areas, like how that essence is very similar across the board. And so I just kind of wanted it to be this like melting pot of like a feeling rather than like a feature on like each person's skate part or surf part. um so that's kind of why. And also it was a lot shorter than I thought. Like the film ended up being a lot shorter, which I think was great because I think it like speaks so much in 8 minutes. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting topic because also my next films, I'm really planning on expanding on the individual and like the character themselves. So
Actually, yeah, could you speak more on your following projects, both of you? Um,
yeah, I mean, we have a big project in the works right now, more about roller skating rather than skateboarding or surfing, and it's only featuring one person. So we're in production right now, and it's gonna be awesome. We don't know exactly when it's gonna be finished yet.
Okay.
But yeah, we're hoping, I mean, this year for sure. Just don't know when we can show it to in-person audiences or anything like that, of course. Um, but yeah, similar essence, but one person, male this time, and roller skating.
In what part? I'm guessing it's still the California essence of it all. What part of California is this going to be based out of?
A few different parts
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Mainly Santa Cruz, but also San Diego and LA and yeah. So.
All right. Any other projects that you are working? You guys are working together for that one, correct?
Yeah, we're working together on that. Stay tuned for us. Our company, Slow Motion Film, is kind of new on the scene here in SLO, and we're just finding that the more we show projects and put ourselves out there, the more filmmakers we're attracting. There's actually a lot of filmmakers moving to the Central Coast right now, and it's been about connecting it all and helping filmmakers get their films made. So, Joe is like, obviously, we're excited about everything she's doing.
Sorry about that. My mom called me. But yes. I feel like it's so funny, Haley, because we made the film about the badass woman, and now I feel like collaborating with you, we just like have this badass woman, like we're gonna go for it. And like there's not that many filmmakers on the Central Coast, and it's so cool that it's growing as we're growing together and making more films. So it's just like the best ever.
Keep it up. Actually, could you share any like connections that we could, follow your work with, or your Instagrams, your Twitters, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I mean, we have the Stoke Chasers Instagram, which is at Stoke Chasers Film. And then my personal Instagram, which is at JoloSwag69. And then Haley, the
Slow
slow
motion
motion.
film. That's slow motion film.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for letting us interview you. We'd also like to thank your sponsors once again, the Surfing for Hope Foundation and Films for Good through Bob and Christine Williams. Once again, thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of your day.